Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's episode of the Four Horsemen, who none of us should need an introduction, but I'm going to let them introduce themselves anyway before we do the cool video intro. So, which one of you fine gentlemen want to start?
Oh, wait, he's down there. He's down there.
The guy down there?
Now, so today I'm a gentleman. By the way, I'm Vision Preparedness. Good to see everybody. If you don't know what I do, go check out our channel and you can take a look at what we do. And I'll leave it at that.
There you go.
Well said. Well said. I am Mike. I am Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival, and he does a lot over there as well. We do prepping survival, and like Trent said, man, go check out the channel. You'll know.
Yes, and if our mods can put links and channels, etc., for all four of us, that would be awesome. Well, all three of you guys, because obviously they're with us.
Sorry, my moderator hands are full this evening.
There you go. No worries, man. We're occupied. So, gentlemen, I'm going to do the very cool intro video, and then I'm going to throw a scenario question at three of you.
All right,
and let's discuss what could happen. So,
Right
we'll be right back, folks. Hang on just a second.
Timmy. CCU at South Bay going to Bay Harbor Hospital, 923045.
As a result of the outbreak,
at
the city or entire region may be in danger of lethal agents. If conditions at your location make this a possibility, you need to consider staying in place until the threat has subsided or blown over. The following steps will ensure that your home will serve as a biological or chemical safe haven. Select an inner room on an upstairs floor with the least number of windows and doors. Choose a large room with access to a bathroom and a telephone.
65 affirmative, break, medevac 39, advisor 97 times 39. 171, minus for all 90. Hello? Is anyone out there?
Wow.
There you go,
man,
ladies.
that was awesome.
Prepper, man, that was absolutely freaking amazing, bro.
Yeah.
That one was dark this week, wasn't it? I just had that dark mood going today.
I wonder why.
Because of Four
vibing,
Horsemen,
cut it
right?
off. I was like,
Let it go, man. Let it go.
Okay, so gentlemen, your scenario.
I'm
for
probably
tonight's
wondering why you
discussion.
brought us here tonight.
Yes. So, first, real quick, hello to everyone in the chat, and thank you, mods, especially KP, Teresa. I think Devil Dog somewhere in there. And Vision, huh? And so, folks, don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you check out all the channels as the mods throw the links in there. So, gentlemen, today's topic. There's a terror attack during the elections. What should everyone be expecting the first 24 and 48 hours? Before we go any further, FBI and any other agency watching, this is purely hypothetical based on the FBI director's comments. So,
I knew you was gonna go here. I knew you were gonna go on some. I was talking to Mrs. Living. I was talking to Mrs. Livingston earlier, and I was like, Pete and Trent are. I didn't want to say you were predictable, but I was like, but these guys are. They're focused on certain scenarios. Like they come up with things that like I wouldn't think of. Mike is more, I get practical. I suppose I'm more like philosophical. I'm always like, but what if this? What if that?
Yeah.
I think too much. You guys actually like present practical scenarios that make sense, whereas I'm often left field and Mike is.
well, no, we sometimes a little
Starving
bit of
people to death.
Socrates is needed, man.
Yeah, totally.
It's
Absolutely.
a terror attack during the elections. What should people expect? Okay, I'll go first here since I already
There you go.
started yapping. Media blitz, absolute information overload, too much, minute by minute coverage of what's going to happen. You're going to be like psychologically bombarded from every like sensory medium possible.
True.
You're going to be driven into like just this place where you can't make sense of it because like you're just being led along by people who are also trying to make sense of like something like this happen. And without speculating as to who or what here, it's just a hypothetical, right? There's no real
Yeah.
who did it, why, none of this, right?
Yep.
Yeah, the information overload is going to cripple everyone's reaction. In reality, is that like no, we will be just dumbfounded, okay, just
Paralyzed by
absolutely.
I
the
believe it.
overwhelming volume of information.
I'm old enough to remember September 11th, 2001, and this is kind of like what you're talking about here. The other thing that scares this is a valid question because everything in media, everything entertainment wise, because media, entertainment, news, and entertainment is like the same thing. It's just WWE stuff, man. You got your good guys and bad guys, good guys, bad guys.
Right.
And what it's going to turn into is just a soap opera. And it, already seen it. A former president got his ear like shot off, and like that was like old hat. A week and a half later, nobody cared. Nobody gave a fuck, dude. The American attention span is too short. If such a thing happened, like in 24 to 48 hours, we'd be on to the next, bro. Everything's got to be so unprecedented, and that's what's scary about the media is everything has to be unprecedented because we otherwise like we've seen it before and we're bored with it. They have to keep feeding us the unprecedented. Everything is unprecedented, and like how far does unprecedented go until there's nothing left?
Okay, going down that rabbit hole. So do you think the media will start trying to out media each other right there because everyone wants to click?
Oh yeah.
And so they're going to start getting, the talking heads, right? The Max Headrooms from the Pentagon. And you remember Max Headroom, by the way?
Yeah.
From the Pentagon and from, I don't know, counterterrorism and some jackass from whatever agency. And they're going to start spinning theories. What do you think? Do you think that'll make it worse? Do you think it'll give people some clarity or what?
No. The idea behind all of it is that there should never be clarity. There should be no closure. There is no truth. Ladies and gentlemen and everybody else, what we live in today is a post-truth era. There is no truth to be found. It's buried, obscured, obfuscated, bulldozed, erased, gone, chiseled off the face of the mountain. There is no truth except the one that you choose to accept and call it that. Other than that, the truth, forget it, man. It's gone. Can't find it. Erased. There is no such thing.
So you think it'll just be mass confusion? How about you, Mike? What are your thoughts on that? What should people expect that first 24 hours?
The first 24 to 48, I would expect massive rushes at the grocery stores, at the hardware stores. I would expect everybody to be on edge. You know what I mean? Everybody's going to have that chip on their shoulder.
Yep.
A lot of people are going to head for their bug out locations. Folks will flee the cities in search of less populated areas where these things can't happen. Even far away from wherever this event happens, I don't think it matters. I think they're just going to flee. I think mass migration of people away from whatever area it was, despite whatever the attack was, if
There's so many hypotheticals here.
Right.
We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know what happened. We don't know.
But I see a lot of people moving around. I see the grocery stores emptied in hours, not days, and that's going to turn into chaos in itself. I mean, you guys see what people do to each other over a cheap flat screen TV on Black Friday.
Oh yeah.
What they're going to do when they're really afraid.
It's coming up, isn't it?
That's kind of what scares me. So, but yeah, I think chaos, man, chaos, lots of chaos. Lots of people they don't have their heads screwed on straight. They know they need to do something, but they don't exactly know what. So they're just going to run and buy and spend everything that they have, and I think the stores are going to be overwhelmed, man. I really, really do.
That's an interesting point. You're going to see all the built up frustration. People will be stressed out and can't control themselves.
Yeah.
I see it already in everywhere you go. If you one in the chat, you've been in traffic lately, for one. But listen, nobody got the patience anymore. There is none. There is zero. We are in so instant gratification. I need it now. The light is green. Go. Like road rage is probably the easiest like first degree murder charge to catch. Because I've seen how these people drive, and I'd be on the jury like, listen, I get it though. Like, you know, this guy, like, you know, the light was green for 1.5 seconds. He didn't go. I had to do what I had to do.
Yep.
Traffic's got to move. Okay. Trent, you've been awful quiet, brother.
Yeah, he's been thinking on the topic.
Want to hear it?
First thing I think, if there's a terrorist attack on election day, I think they're going to suspend the election. And there's going to be mass chaos, as everybody has said. Grocery stores will be emptied in an hour. All of your outdoor sporting stores will be closed.
Good point.
And then the possibility, depending on the size of the attack and where, and this, that, and the other, martial law could be instituted. But people will be fleeing the big cities for sure, as Mike said. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, I'll just be sitting at the ranch.
Got that thing on him.
Exactly.
Okay, but can I put something? My job here is to always be like the opposition.
No,
like
no.
just post it. All right, so
we
let's-
have to we have to stir it up a
always
bit,
gotta,
man.
I'm like a professional hater. Like I don't care what it
A
is.
professional hater.
There's things you think I probably like and I hate them and probably hope they would die. Okay, so I'm a professional hater. All right, so yeah, I mean I hate it and I wish it would die, but people think I like it because I said I did. And talking about, I alluded to September 11th before, and let's allude to something even more recent when Hurricane, whatever his face was there, blasted the Carolinas and everybody, right? But we're talking about, people fleeing the scene of the crime and all this, we're going to run away and do this thing. But actually what you see is that people don't do that. People flow into like, we got to go help our fellow Americans. We got to go in there. We got to get in there. Like I've honestly never heard of Americans flee right down to Flight 93 on September 11, 2001, of Americans fleeing the scene of an infliction on their fellow Americans. In fact, they flow into it. In some cases, allegedly have to be stopped by the government. Like you can't give people blankets and food, bro. Like, but whatever. Rebuttal as for all this fleeing and running away shit. I'm wondering if actually Americans would do that. Obviously, those directly afflicted gotta get out of the blast zone, right?
Yeah, or whatever
Everybody
has happened.
As soon as was feasible, I hope that Americans would actually flow into it, not away from it.
It's interesting when you think about it because it kind of depends on what happens too. Like you point out, like the hurricane, if you're flooded, you can't stay there. Like you have to goes to reset and come back. But if it was something else, like, some bombing or bio something or other, would they flee? And then where would they go? There's another question.
Yeah, that's a big one. That's a
like-
big one.
There's also some amazing, what would you call them, community action groups.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that actually respond to this stuff in lieu of like government aid being non-forthcoming.
Yeah, communities pull together. Totally.
This is what all of these channels you're here watching are really all about, folks. And that's
Absolutely.
like you gotta build a community because that's what it takes. It takes a village, right?
Well, for sure. for sure. I mean, you know, when you work through the logistics of a whole societal collapse, say, right? Say the event happens, election day, and then society starts to rapidly at first unravel. You know what I mean? And then you have to cling to society, what's left of it for the most part, right? And try and keep your community as normal as possible for as long as possible.
Right.
Yeah.
I think
So
that's
do
the
you
best bet.
think you're going to see people kind of batten down the hatches on their own subdivision, where folks are like, you know what, we don't know who's coming here. Let's
I think
protect our house.
some of the more extreme-minded folks might go that way, but I think the average Joe is just going to stick to themselves and, you know, kind of huddle inward after something like that, you know, and make some sense of it. Make some sense of it. Try to make some sense of it, but like Livingston Man said, you're 100% you're going to be in that information overload category almost immediately after.
Yeah.
I think too that you might underestimate people's ability to put up fences and, like, you know, form borders and get like real tight about what's theirs and yours. Even the most progressive folks, and I can't help but talk about when they sent like the migrant bus to Martha's Vineyards, and they were like, "Not here, not here." You'd be surprised who put up a fence real quick and start calling people something that they don't identify with and excluding themselves from that situation. When a national affliction like this takes place, you can't put your own moral compass on somebody else. All right, just because you gonna walk the high road, like I appreciate you, but ain't nobody else fucking walking that high road, dude. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. So you can talk all that smack, but yeah, at the end of the day, you're gonna get hungry too, and we'll see what happens then.
Yeah.
Well, and then go ahead.
I was just going to say, depending on the severity of whatever the attack is, you know, I'm circling the wagons and locking down, you know, everything here. And once that's done, then I may check on neighbors and see what they're doing and say, hey, you know, if you need something or something, you see something, let me know and we'll take it from there. But, you know, our road is easy to lock down. I mean, there's trees all the way up and down it, you know, and everybody out here owns at least 4 chainsaws. So, yeah.
One of the most useful prepping tools you can possibly have is a gas-powered chainsaw and some gas and oil for it.
Yeah, man. Some extra chains maybe too. Don't overlook those.
Yep.
I do believe that I saw somebody in the comments talking about it. They're going by pretty fast. This election, whoever wins this election, the other person is not going to accept it. It's going to be when Bush and Gore went at it, and we didn't have a president for like months. And then they finally fought out in court, and then it was massively disputed, and who knows what the hell happened there. But the point is that this election is going to be extremely. There ain't going to be no winner of this for months down the road if we're lucky. And in the meantime, hostile actors, foreign nations, everybody going to act the fool because America ain't got no
commander in chief.
Right, and it's like it falls down to like I don't know who the hell, but Nancy Pelosi or something, or I think she left, but I don't know. It's that America looking mad weak on the world stage right now is the real America's problem, if you were to ask me, is that we look mad weak on the national stage. We look like some herb, like we just get pointed at and laughed at. Look at you, like I mean, yeah, we got a strong punch,
right?
But we're just like a big dumb moose at this point.
Big dumb moose.
Big dumb moose.
That's a great analogy.
That's one of the best analogies I've heard.
Yeah,
and that's America needs that big. A strong, charismatic leader behind it, and I'm not, I'm not proclaiming authoritarianism. I'm just saying that somebody that projects a little bit of swagger. I don't care what
bravado, hubris, whatever. Like,
if you want to act like, if you're going to be a rock star, the number one rule is you got to act like one a little bit. okay, and like this whole like touchy feely, oh my goodness, versus let's just say it trumps over the topness. What I would love to see is somebody a little bit in the middle, right here. Like I know I'm the ship, but I don't gotta act like it.
Yeah. That would be nice.
Confidence.
That would be nice.
Not
Yeah.
arrogance.
When we were
right?
respected on the world stage, not feared because we were so afraid of what this guy might be able to do.
Right. Kind of like what, Bush did at Ground Zero during 9/11.
Right.
Yeah.
Basically said, we will hunt you down and we will, do what
will
we
deal
need
with
to.
you.
Yeah.
Talk like at a reasonable level, but carry like a really, really big stick that can zoom in on your cell phone and get you.
Zoom in on your cell phone and get you. Zoom in on your license plate from orbit. Okay.
Exactly.
So, what do you guys think? If folks have to leave, what should they be thinking of when they're trying to get to whatever family or friend they're trying to stay with?
Where are you going, and
Yes.
can you realistically get there?
Get there. Mhm.
Yeah. That's a big one.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
In the next, I'll say 24 to 48 hours, I'm going to get my maps out and give folks a little lesson in area planning that I do.
Nice.
It's not very complicated. I can walk everybody through it right now if you really wanted to. It's super simple. You get yourself a map, just like the roaming prepper has there.
Yep.
Standard map. I highly recommend a county map.
Yes.
Because if you're doing a state map, you're going to have to scale things a little bit different. So if you have a county map, go get yourself one of those big coffee can lids. If you got a number 10 can with a snap lid, you can borrow one off of that. Mm-hmm. And you want to find the center of it and poke a little hole in it. And you're going to find your house, and you're going to put your house right in the center of that hole, and you're going to draw a circle, and then you're going to scale that out. And that's about 9 miles on a county map, pending the size of your county.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to draw circles like that around all your friends. And where those places overlap, those are great spots to meet up. That's short travel. If all communications are down and you need to meet up with somebody just to see how they're doing or check on them and make sure grandma's okay, you can do these short little trips to predetermined locations where you guys can meet up and say, hey, what's going on? Predetermined times to be there. That's the important thing. All this stuff's got to be set up in advance, but it's easy. It's easy. If you get yourself a compass, you can do the same thing on your map without the coffee can lid. The coffee can lid just simplifies it for some people.
Jay Creature makes an interesting point in the comments, and he says, "Are we kidding? These maps will fluster these kids worse than a manual transmission." So there is an element of control as to who exactly will show up to your rendezvous point.
Right.
Yeah.
And
And that's the whole
This
thing.
It's
bro.
a valid point right there. That's a little bit of
Yeah.
a loaded question, if you will. Like, I see what I did there thing.
Yep. I had to, my son was like, well, Dad, how do you know where you're going? How do you get from here to there and you don't have GPS? And I explained to him north, south, east, and west.
Yes, man.
You can tell by
Even
the song.
even numbers run east and west, odd numbers run north and south.
Yep.
Get home, find your way home. Yeah. I had to, basically go
A lot of
through
people
that.
don't explore their area either. I lived in a subdivision in Houston for almost 13 years of the 15 we were there. And we took a neighbor's car, broke down, and they're like, oh, we need to get to Sam's. I'm like, I'm headed there. Come sit with us. It's a simple neighbor favor. And I took the back road, and we popped out at the Sam's, and they looked at me. They'd lived there for 20 years. And the wife looked at me and goes, how the hell did you do that? And I'm like, when we first moved here, we just drove around till we figured out where everything was.
Yep.
She'd been there 10 years longer than we had.
And had
Had never made the right instead of the left and went down the little country road to the same
Incredible.
destination.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Now, I've also
Know your area, folks. Drive it. Take a Sunday
Have
drive.
you ever heard of the suburban stalker? All right, that was me. I used to go to I used to go to like communities like what Pete's talking about, these veteran communities. They build these developments in the middle of the desert, and what you do is you just like walk around and look back people's backyard. You're just looking like in their windows and shit. You'd be surprised at people's lack of privacy. They're like, "Why are you looking at me?" I'm like, "Why is your window wide open? I mean, you have no right to privacy here. You're in public now." And then anyway, it was a problem, so I always had to be hiding around. What you can do to like defeat like motion sensor lights, I hate these things. So what you do is you creep up on the wall, you put your back to the wall, and you sneak up underneath that thing. You just loosen them bulbs up. You just take that out, and then you can free roam out. And lights in your face, no good. Once they're out, you can see right in the house. Okay.
You know, we used to play that game back when I was a kid. Was who could sneak up on the security light?
Yes.
Without
dude,
setting
like,
it off.
Where it came from. Like I used to
So,
run the
like-
neighborhood, like jumping in people's bushes and being.
It was like red light, green light, 1, 2, 3, but only one of us went at a time. And I'd go up like 3 feet, and I'd stop. And then the other kid
whoever
would
could
keep
get
going.
the closest.
Yeah, you kept going. If the light came on, you had to stop. And the
Talking
one
about-
who moved the slowest and got there first won. So
You ever play doorbell ditch? You ring the doorbell and run.
Oh,
no, we
ding
lived
dong
in
ditch.
apartments. We'd never get out in time. They'd kick us down the stairs.
We used to do that all the time, thinking young dumb kids. They didn't know it was us. There's 6 kids in the neighborhood. Clearly, it's them. Yo, this one time, I jumped in this dude's. This dude had a boxwood hedge, and I jumped in the shit. Jumped in it like it. Oh, I mean, breaks my heart to this day. If because 40-year-old me would have whooped 10-year-old my ass for jumping in this boxwood hedge, and he came out like he was gonna whoop my ass, and like I said, it was justified. We ran like hell, and I went to run in my house, and my buddy was like, "Don't run in your own house. He's gonna call the cops." So we ran past our own house, and wouldn't you know it, he did call the cops, and they came and didn't go to my house because I didn't run to my house. Smart move. When if the cops chasing you, don't run to your own house, dude.
Right.
Run to anybody else's house, but your own house. But fuck all that. This is life lessons here. You're listening to the truth tonight.
We'd run into the basements of the apartments, which was a dungeon to a young kid, right? And
Oh yeah.
we'd get lost. Then we'd lose a kid down there because the lights were off.
Terrifying.
Because it was, and we'd be like, "Joey, where are you?" Ah! He had that cry with the drool coming out. And we're like, "We lost Joey. He's gonna die." And eventually he found his way out. But every now and then a hobo would come out, and that was really terrifying. So
Oh,
don't
man.
play in basements.
That'll wake you up quick, right?
So I mean, in the event of a terrorist attack on the election, but understand that this behavior will become reactivated in me, and I will be jumping in your hedges. I will be sticking in your windows.
I literally have-
screwing your light bulbs.
You know what?
Okay.
We-
All right.
We
Chaos
literally have
factor.
cactus out here.
Oh,
I'll
good
find
Lord.
you like in the.
Yeah, stuck up in the cactus.
Exactly.
Livingston Man skewers.
Who unscrewed my
Exactly.
light bulbs? You know who unscrewed your light bulbs.
Yeah, the guy with all the cactus freaking thorns sticking out of him.
Out of
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, God, that's just funny. Okay, so part two. How do you gather your family if you have to, or if someone's coming to you, you've got to
Okay,
go to
so-
them.
I got to be honest. For me, that's fairly simple. Everybody's super duper local. So I can just a brisk walk through the woods and hello, and everybody's cool. And
So you can
you know,
check
we-
on each other pretty quick.
oh yeah. I mean, plans already in place. The radios are where they need to be. They're on, and if I got to spread the word, I just say, hey, I'm gonna stop over. Can you meet me here or there?
Can you give a 101 quick for family networking? How do you without giving away secrets? What are you talking about here? All right, people
the-
new
the-
here. How you like?
The close.
know.
So your family. How far away are they? If you have folks that are within 10 to 15 miles, simple FRS radios, the Radio Shack radios are going to work for you, especially if you can get to a second story window and you both have some high points. You'll more than likely be able to communicate with one another.
Yep.
So you don't need anything fancy when you're that close. And it'll work fantastic. And if you need to get the word out, just a quick chirp on the radio. Hey, you guys okay? The other thing on the radio is don't give away too much information. You don't want to talk too openly about things because people are listening. People are listening.
Code words.
Well, you don't even have to code words. Code words on the radio is technically illegal.
Contingencies. You got
Well, yeah, but you don't. I mean, don't tell everybody everything, man. Keep some stuff to yourself. You can talk about that stuff in person, but just hey, can you meet me at the big tree? We'll call it, right? The big tree or the big rock. You remember the rock we had lunch at the one day? Let's go there.
Yep.
Whatever the case may be, something that nobody else is going to know what the
Let's
fuck
meet
you're talking
where
about.
Lou fell in the bushes.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're
I'm gonna tell
going
you
back
Meet me
to
by
the
the light
boxwood.
that's missing
I
a
know
light
exactly
bulb.
where that was, and I'm not gonna say it because that would incriminate me. I don't know what the statute of limitations on that shit is. Because plus, I admitted to it. I was like, I did it.
Yeah, I
can't.
think the boxwoods have healed by now.
Yeah.
No weapon,
And,
no
and
body,
the light bulb
no
has been
case.
replaced.
That's right.
They probably cut it down. I hate it. My old neighborhood turned to shit. Bunch of
But
white
yeah,
people.
we have plans and code words. I just dropped a video scenario about that.
I seen it.
Everybody should have a plan, practice it, y'all. But I being that there's only one person I have to get, and then I know everybody else is coming to us, and they know how and when and what, and we go from there. Yep. And we have no comms plan either. If you can't get in touch with anybody and they know what to do, we're going to meet by the big blue tree.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, during Harvey, it was the Panera because it was on a hill, and we knew the manager. So we're like, even if it's closed, we will go there at 7 o'clock in the morning and 7 at night.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't have to be anything fancy, guys. See, I mean,
Right.
it's as simple as meet at Panera Bread, open or closed. If it's open, we'll get a sandwich and some soup, and then we can talk about things. And if it's closed, well, we'll meet each other, and then we can talk about things.
Yep.
Sorry, no soup, no sandwich.
Correct. Yeah.
But maybe coffee. Maybe coffee.
That'd be good. That'd be
I
good.
always have coffee.
I'm only just now reading the ticker at the bottom, and I was like, thank God he put this here.
Disclaimer.
There's a reason for that.
I know it.
Because
Me.
a video
I'm
from
the
2
reason.
years ago
I'm the reason.
was offensive. And it got the kibosh, and I had to edit it and put it back up.
I see things in cartoons that are more offensive than things I say, but yet,
Yes.
as
But
I
yet-
sit here amongst the elite of the prepping community, I have 300 subscribers.
Or like
And
that
I-
Pan
and
Am bread.
What I hear them say is everybody, they're like, the algorithm's crushing my viewers, bro. I'm like, I have like 12 views on my latest opus that I made. I made this masterpiece, and here goes vision. Only 1,000 people watched my last video. They must be cracking down on us, bro. And I'm like, bro, you ain't been cracked down on. Like, and you know why? You know why? Because I speak the truth. And so what they do to me is I'm not blacklisted. I'm no listed.
They just sent you into the abyss.
if
You're
you
like in
have-
the
That's
ether.
He's been unpersoned.
They're like, just let him. Like,
He's been in person.
If you happen to cross it, like, that's your own damn fault. That's what they do to me. Why am I? Next week, Mike, is it election night?
Yeah.
Yes.
We're gonna be Four Horsemen on the Livingston Man's channel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know what
I'll
I can
tell
do
you
over
what.
there? Because
I'm
of
coming
my-
ready. That's all I'm gonna say.
We're gonna
I'm
be the
coming
fo-
full blown ready
the
because
four
it'd be,
pollsters.
yeah, it'd be just our luck in the middle of the live stream
He
on the
told me that.
Livingston Man's channel.
He told me, he's like, you got like the golden ticket. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
your next horseman is on
Yeah.
election night.
It's
And I was
true.
like, oh
Yes.
cow.
It's true.
It'll be fun. Not that we should take anything away from what's going on here tonight, but
No,
I
no,
think
not
that
at all.
that's
It'll be
going to
awesome.
be real fun. All
Well,
I
this
meant to
this
say
is
was
the
that
prequel to that.
Yes.
I mean, we're talking about election night.
Absolutely.
If anyone
we
thinks
might
I've
have
been
an
irreverent, I've
we might
been
have
trying
an
to be
epic
polite.
show on
So
So
this
I think
channel.
I think it's fantastic because we're all from different places, and Livingston Man doesn't give a shit. So it's great. It's absolutely great. I can bring some of the New York vote stuff in. Trent can bring us some news from Ohio. Pete can bring us some news from Texas, and we can all
Watch the time zones walk across the United States.
That's
actually.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. The Horsemen are riding.
Yardbirds.
And we're coming hot and heavy. I'm rolling in hot and heavy, y'all.
Attack ferrets.
Attack ferrets. Now
Attack
we're
ferrets.
talking.
One in the
Yeah.
chat. We're talking about, all right, so in the context now, I think that we don't even need a terrorist attack on the election, right? One in the chat, if you think this is probably going to be the last election.
2. Oh, I put a 2 in the chat.
Oh, wait. You don't think this will be the last election?
Nah,
If you,
man.
yeah, if you think it'll be the
No, I
last
don't.
election, put
I
a
don't.
1.
I don't think it'll be the last.
If you think
election.
they'll go to court, put a 2.
Okay, I'm gonna go
Yeah.
with 3 then.
Yeah.
Okay, what's 3?
What's the third option? that was
Well,
like
the third
a fucking secret?
option is the media created all this hype. It's not even fucking real, and everything's gonna go on as normal, and everybody's gonna be fucking super shocked.
Yeah. Somebody put a turd. So what vote
There it
was
is.
that?
I'm
That's
with
what
the
it's going to
turd.
be. It's going to be
I'm
a
with
shit.
the shit sandwich, and we're all gonna take a bite.
Yep. Poop show, and they're gonna serve it to us all night long.
You know.
Let's present 3 scenarios. All right. One is yes, this is like due to the authoritarian nature of Donald Trump. This is the last election. He declares himself Caesar, emperor for life.
Right.
2, Kamala Harris comes on board and I feel like they might try to pull is that elections are dangerous and a genuine threat to national security. You can't just look what happens every time we do this. And somehow legally shoehorn some nonsense through that makes it so like, no, it's not how we even do things anymore. Take the enfranchisement out of the people themselves, like place full control in an electoral college to where the people's actual vote doesn't matter. It's more representatives.
Oh,
No,
okay.
some
So the
nonsense.
electoral college going kind of askew from the vote of the people. Is
Exactly.
What you're...
Disconnect that from the popular vote because people can't be trusted to vote right, depending on who's talking. Or third is that like it never mattered. Like you just say, it's all just smoke and mirrors, and like they're all actually working for the same guy, sitting down eating steak dinner
Yeah,
together.
and you know what? They'll prep him with Sarge. What's good, my brother?
Good to see you prepping with Sarge.
Could it all just be bullshit, man? Honestly, yes, because like we said earlier, they're all about it for the clicks. It's all about the ratings. It's all about what people are going to click on, the wildest title, who's going to watch the most videos on my streaming service. You know what I mean? It sucks, but it could all be fabricated. The polls, the hype, all of it.
Hey, Tennessee Tactical.
TT1, what's good?
What's going on?
PT1 in the building.
So
But yeah, I think it could be, man. It could be. It totally could be.
I think that they have every reason to like manipulate like the so-called elections because like in the same way with all this like upper science, things like as simple gas prices, economics, the stock market, CDC statistics, election results. You as the average person have no real way of verifying any of this information. You have to rely on outside sources to tell you it, and
They lie.
you have to trust it or don't, but you yourself can never know, like I said, the truth. Unless you're going to be that guy, learn how to test DNA, become a virus expert, become a ballot counter.
Right.
You don't know.
yeah.
You don't know. You know nothing, Rook.
and
It's
then if
true,
you
though.
dig too much, then you have an accident.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
Unfortunately,
I
Hillary Clinton
personally
came
on
to
election
visit you.
night will be flipping pigeons to get the information out. You know, that's my internet with no IP addresses.
Mm.
Yeah.
Your vision will do that. You know,
Mhm,
that'll do
like that, and it'll be over.
That's right. And a third of the population crumbled.
Yes,
I thank you because I need that work, bro.
exactly.
Economy. Since the pandemic went away, I've been like, doing odd jobs.
Yeah. Yeah, we thought we had something good going a couple of weeks ago, but then they
Hey,
stopped. So yeah,
Pete
war's
knows
out
that
right now.
business is good. Business is
Yeah.
good.
War,
Don't worry,
please.
man. I'll get you going. Just remember my
Appreciate-
3% off the top.
Of course, I appreciate you.
When you guys are all done, the famine's coming for
So
everyone.
all scenarios aside,
Here's
We're
where
gonna
he plugs
be-
nutrient survival.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes.
Get your number 10 cans ASAP.
Right.
hey, contains food, can
72
be used
hours.
as weapon if needed.
Amen. Amen.
You remember those disc guns? You put the little plastic.
Yes.
Okay, so it's number 10 lids though.
Oof.
Good golly.
I mean, it probably wouldn't hurt you too bad, but it's enough. I would retreat from that. Be like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, I don't want to get cut by a Oh,
You get hit by a can, you
I want to get too
chuck
far
it
off
down
topic.
like Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Tunk.
Let's really zero in. Okay, let's terrorist attack on the election. All right.
Yeah.
So let's really narrow this down. So it's a terrorist attack on wherever it is that they certify the vote.
Okay, so you're talking something on like the actual ballot counting places.
No, where like it's
Oh,
going to become
like-
official. Like we're going to crown the new.
When the electorate gets together and technically the vice president would oversee the
Cast the vote.
representatives.
Do the
That's
thing.
And
that's
they validate. That
January.
would be-
That's January 6th.
Yeah. Is it fall on the 6th again this year or 7th or?
Yep.
Yep.
How? So I got a question about that. How can the vice president verify something that they are directly involved with running for president?
Because
Well-
they're the Senate pro tempore.
Yeah.
They're the president of the
But
Senate.
doesn't that disqualify them from
Well,
certifying the election?
they still have to do it in the presence of the Congress,
Thank
of
you.
the Senate.
I love you.
Because remember when you talked about Gore and Bush, and ultimately Bush was decided to be the winner. Gore was the VP at the time under Clinton, and he certified Bush. So, but he
It's
was in the
a
presence
symbolic
A peaceful transfer of power. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like Mike Pence did on January 6th. They
Which
they
was-
said
but
that
he
Joe
wasn't running
Biden
for
won,
president.
and he
put the
no, but
stamp on it.
he did have vested interest because if he won, he would have been vice president again. So
True. So it's happened a couple of times now. That
yeah.
Now, cha-cha, no, the horsemen do not bring magic jingle jangles when the coffee cup gets refilled because of
magic
war.
jingle jangles. That's awesome.
Yeah. No,
I don't even know what
hones
those
right in
are.
on you when he hears any kind of noise like that.
There you go.
Or
Vice
send-
President
or
is the
sending
last
out the
sign.
drones.
I
the
figure
drum.
that if anything, what we should expect from this election cycle here, of course, the most important. This is a Super Bowl of America. They play this game every 4 years with us, and we pick a side and we rabidly cheer for our team, and then we piss and moan if we don't win. And we have fought our way through this a couple of times already. But boy, I swear, I'm telling you, America is tired. I don't know how, if this ain't the last one, I don't know how many more of these we have in us. The emotional tax this takes on people anymore because everything is split so right down the middle. Everything is so close, so right on the razor's edge, 49-51. And it's like, and what ends up happening is that half the people get to gloat and strut around with their dicks out, and the other half of them got to eat that shit for 4 years. And then, lo and behold, they come back and do the same thing, and everybody hates it, and the vicious cycle continues forever.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't always like that. People would get bitter and then they'd be like, okay, the election's over. Let's move on.
Right.
It's like Super Bowl. Everyone
Yeah,
would
but
get
it's-
excited. Now
it
it's
doesn't
ugly.
seem like Yeah, it doesn't seem to be the case anymore, does it?
No.
No.
Everybody's they'll unfriend you in real life. They'll unfriend you on social media.
You got to say the right things.
They'll
Yeah,
even
fit in
stop
with-
talking to you in person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for real. For real.
Yeah.
Walk away from you, you know, call you a Nazi, call
Oh,
you
I've been called
fascist.
a Nazi. I've been called a
It's
few things. Yeah.
Yep.
listen, it's not the case, and
Mm.
these people live in a delusional world, and it's scary, and it's both sides. It's not just one. It's not just one. You know, you have the folks who are so, you know, Trump is literal God and he's going to save us from everything, and then you have the folks on the other side who are, you know, Kamala's going to save us from Trump, and what a fucking joke this country has become. You know, nobody's going to save you. You better get off your ass and learn something. Just saying.
Hell yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny? It's even if an American or a group in America doesn't do something, there are a lot of countries that don't like us because we keep screwing with other countries. And it
We've
would be
overthrown more governments than
Oh,
any
God.
other nation in the world.
Right.
what were those what were those countries back in '01, right after 9/11, that they got together and decided we're going to flip the governments in like 6 or 7 countries? It was
Yeah.
what? Sudan, Iraq,
Syria,
Libya.
Syria, Libya.
Libya.
Yemen, and
Yemen.
Iran.
Yeah.
Iran's the only one left.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the
they
rest of them are done.
basically hit every country that had their own central bank. There's only 2
Correct.
central banks left in the world.
Mhm.
Iran and Lebanon. That's it.
Yeah.
And wouldn't you know it? Axis
Ukraine.
of evil.
Yeah. Ukraine, you're
you
right.
know,
Grateful
like
Prince.
bad guys can't go there, can't do business with them. Sanctions.
Well,
everything else.
Exactly.
Formerly Ukraine. I'm sure they got a central bank in there now.
I hope so, man. I sent them a lot of money.
You guys know why we're burning all this money
There
to
goes
these
my
foreign
Christmas
nations,
light
right?
budget. You know, all of a sudden
We're laundering the money.
No, man. We're
don't think so?
we're the BRICS is real, and these people are really trading anything for oil except the U.S. dollar.
I'm going to
right.
predict something. But I'm going to say this in the context that I don't have advanced knowledge of said thing. But I feel like that the world situation is veering toward it. Again, I cannot stress going back to September 11th when another part of the world objected to our presence there and the support that we were giving to a certain ally who was dedicated to like their destruction, as were they. This situation in the Middle East that's happening right now is going to lead to a fucking terrorist attack on America because of our support for it. Whether you're for it or against it, it's not the question here. Is that
No.
it's going? It has. It's not going to. It's real potential to ignite backlash. You can't commit violence against a guy via a proxy. So like we're gonna give some people food, but we're gonna give the guy bombing them missiles, and not expect a backlash. Not maybe even in our generation, but
Right.
this will be remembered in history. And
Yeah.
Personally, I speak for myself, as the Chiron on the bottom here says. I don't agree with what's going on. I hate war. War is fought for profit these days by the people who do not fight it.
Yep. But I think it was Grateful Preps NJ said the BRICS nations are struggling also.
Yeah.
And the thing is that Russia cannot, China will not allow Russia to buy anything using the yuan. They told them, you're going to pay us in gold.
hmm
So, the BRICS nations got their own issues as well.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I think there's so many petrodollars that are coming home to roost
Yep.
that we need
agree.
to literally throw truckloads of money into an incinerator to stop hyperinflating our currency. because during the pandemic, we printed, baby. We printed. Oh, man, did we
Oh.
print some freaking money and loans and...
You know, it's funny you say that, man, because when I taken one of the grad courses, it's been a while, but they talk about the things that affect the value of a currency in a country, the number of dollars, the GDP of the country, those are the big ones, but also what they call velocity of money, how much it's moving around. The more it moves, the better it is for everyone, right? Because it's exchange. And during the COVID, they were printing a pile of money. The GDP sucked, and nobody was spending anything.
Yeah, everybody
And
put it
it
in
just-
the bank account.
Yeah, it just created this big. But you notice now, here we are 4 years later, and people are in like record debt. It's almost like they're
Yeah.
like, you save too much money. We're going to make it impossible for you to get ahead.
Correct.
But that's
And-
just, me
and
speaking.
the biggest thing is the currency. The interest rates are going up, so your credit cards are the minimum payments keep going up,
Right.
and the debt mounts on you faster now, so it's troubling, man. It's troubling, and we see the inflation. Man, the real numbers, if we ever found out, that would be... Yeah, Vision and Livingston are getting the guitars tuned up in the other room right now and getting their song ready for the finale here. But we just printed too much money. There's too much money in currency. They literally... You remember the change shortage that there was?
Oh, yeah.
A change shortage. And they sucked
And they
all
said
the
it was
coins back.
stuck in all the stores because the stores were shut down.
Horse shit, man. They did it to suck the rest of the silver and copper out of our currency because it was the last real value in American money.
Yep.
Right? The paper is cheap. The ink is cheap.
Yeah,
The
I mean, what
coins
are
are
what
made
are
out
our
of-
coins made out of now? Like
Oh,
tin?
God. Yeah,
Nickel
garbage.
and,
Garbage.
like-
we used to have fucking silver dollars made of silver.
Actual
Copper
now-
pennies
now-
made of copper.
Now I got a dollar that's made out of not even a piece of brass. It's just some shiny metal. It sucks. It sucks.
Yep.
I went to Walmart and I saw that they had a bag of 100 plastic pennies and it cost $3.
For $1 worth
Think
of
about
plastic
it.
pennies. Yeah, that's great.
That's insane and
Think
horrifying.
about it.
Well, it's like you go to
3
the
cents to make
store,
a penny.
you want a bottle of clean water, it's $3, but you could get a 50-cent soda. The soda is made of water.
Of course, because the soda's killing you and the water gives you life.
This little guy right here, he was way cheaper than the bottles of water on the shelf.
Look what it does to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is. What is it, like a monster? Or?
No, that's the reddest bullist.
Did you try the new the winter version yet?
No.
It's like blueberry vanilla or something. Listen, it tastes like if you put Lucky Charms. All right, you had Lucky Charms marshmallows,
Ew.
but then you put a
Ew.
green like freeze pop on it. That's what it tastes like.
You-
Promise you. One in the chat if you had that shit, and you know I'm right. 'Cause
Put a 2 in the chat if you had that stuff and died.
I think they're not going to be pushing 2 in the chat if they're dead.
Oh, that's interesting. Thanks, Jer.
I had a rant
Yeah.
in mind.
91% copper.
Oh, yeah, I remember what it was now. So I appreciate every single one of you in the chat. I really do. I love y'all. I read your comments. I see you. You are seen. You are validated. You are
Yes,
You know,
and thank you. All of you.
as real to me as text on the screen can be. I noticed that y'all don't be sharing these videos out. Like y'all in here like you're secret. Like I think your friends, family, and coworkers don't know that you a prepper. And I think that you don't have to act like that because as we all sit here in the comments talking about all my friends and family and neighbors gonna come to me because I'm the shit out here. Why don't you start acting like it? Hey, yeah, here's some knowledge. Yo, look, this is what I'm into. This is what I'm doing. Because of all things, I love your likes. I love your subscriptions. As everybody said, I subscribed to your channel, Livingston Man. And I'm like, no, you didn't. You know I can see it, right?
I want everyone to go to Livingston's last video and put
They
poop
won't.
emojis in the whole chat.
Yeah.
There it
Yes.
is. It's been summoned. Shit emojis for Livingston, man.
There it is.
But what we would love is if you want to like spread this community, if you want to like make your voice heard, you want to like listen. You think you know something? You think we know something? Please don't think I know something. Share these videos out, man. Like, let everybody know like
Yeah.
this forbidden knowledge, like because
Yeah.
the what you can do is save yourself a lot of trouble.
Thank you.
Sarge.
There's also that option. I have
Awesome.
to tell you on what's November 3rd? Is it 5th?
5th.
Vote Livingston, man. I was
Yeah.
I was a candidate before Kamala was.
That's
all
right. Livingston
Yes,
Man
he was.
2024. I got
Yes,
the
he was.
T-shirt. I got the hoodie.
I
And I
think
wasn't handed the role. okay?
Neil Hahn actually put himself as a write-in on his ballot. But he was supposed to send the picture so we can post it, and I've never seen it yet. So I don't know if it was scuttlebutt or if he actually did it. So
Oh man.
In conclusion, real ones share these videos when we're over with. That's how we live on. That's how these live streams live on. Because otherwise, Mike, they die.
Yeah. A live stream. The lifespan of a live stream is about what 30 hours,
If
and
that.
then it's just no more. Nobody else is watching a live stream after 30
Speaking
hours.
of 30 hours, Livingston Man, you haven't done a video in 2 months.
oh,
Rook.
I haven't
hey now.
uploaded a video in 2 months. And I'm gonna tell you why. You know what? I've been doubting myself, and
Cut it out, man.
Why?
Cut it out. No room for self-doubt here. It's YouTube. It should be you on the tube.
and
That's
what
it.
I have found is that
It's LooTube. That sounds terrible. Don't use that.
I found that I found myself well, gosh gone it, self-conscious. Like, who would find this entertaining?
I do.
You might be surprised. And what
do.
I'm
Man,
the feeling,
people would
the
pay
feeling
to
I'm
hear the
wrestling
shit you
with-
say. For real.
The feeling I'm wrestling with is yes, people do, but I myself don't. And I guess I've normalized myself or something, right?
Somebody
Like,
said,
make
"Can
this
we
about
vote
me?"
for an anarchist?"
Jake Creature says, which one of many personalities edits the videos?
God.
It's too many to count.
Well,
It's too many to count,
yeah.
kid. We stopped doing that a long time ago. All right?
Bro, you're like the #1 promoter of do the things, put the camera out, say the thing. I've hit the wall that you're up against before.
Same here.
In like the first year of YouTube, I really came up against the wall where I was just like, man, everybody's done it, everybody's said it, everybody's gone through it.
I don't want to make
why
content
me?
for
Why?
content's
No,
sake.
I don't.
like-
I don't. But nobody's ever done it the way that you do it. Nobody's ever said it the way that you said it, and you may be the one who resonates with somebody and
true.
gets them down.
That's
the
a
road
really good way to
of
put it.
Preparedness, man. It's the
You wake
That's
me
the
up
biggest
at
thing.
3:00 in the morning screaming.
I don't know if
why I'm
that's a
here. And,
positive
thank
thing.
you, because that makes it all worthwhile. It really does. I just want to be your sleep paralysis demon, like just kneeling on your chest,
It's
like,
like, oh, it feels
you
like-
know
Wait,
nothing,
that-
Rook. You know nothing, Trent.
Exactly.
Listen. I literally have visions of you hovering over me in a gas mask while I'm like arresting. Okay, I lived this. This was real life. With red lights all in the fucking background. Okay, that was real life for me, Livingston Man. That was real. I was there. I had to do it multiple times on a freezing cold concrete floor in the middle of February. It was fantastic, and I did it all for you guys.
Polar Eclipse, if you want to check that out.
Yeah.
Shameless promo.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, thank you. I mean, I just
You should, man. Somebody's gonna listen to you and go, "This guy's got a thought here." That's
This is like a reverse intervention. Like instead of telling me how shitty I am, you guys are like, "Oh, you're so cool." Dude.
A reverse intervention.
Reverse
What the fuck is
intervention.
happening?
Grateful
Listen,
Preps, NJ.
enough of this shit. A terrorist attack has occurred. And this action night.
You're going to make me go change my light bulbs.
You should.
Wait, to what color?
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Not that ice white shit. I hate that.
Don't put red lights out because people will think the wrong thing. That's
Well,
Amsterdam.
that's
right.
true. Yeah, that was back in the
Or
day.
New Orleans, depending on where you are. Yeah, that was back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And the New Orleans and Vegas jokes start. There we go.
What were we talking about?
Forgot.
Well, there was a terrorist
Livingston Man
attack
had
on
a
the day
fucking.
of the election, and
Livingston Man needed a validation. real
and
quick.
what would bestow us in the next 24 to 48 hours?
That's it.
Yeah.
Information overload.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
recoup
agreed.
Yeah.
everybody just knows too much, but at the same time, like nobody. We just know what we know.
Yeah.
You know, no clarification, no closure at all. We're just gonna be dumbfounded and like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah.
Neighborhood's gonna come together. People gonna come together. You're gonna see like American flags flying in the streets, especially if like when 9/11 happened. At first, we didn't know what happened.
Yeah.
But then it happened again, and we were like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
They kicked us right in the balls on that one, and Americans responded positively to it. Though there was none of this like flee. Oh gosh! Oh my god!
Yeah.
Like it was really
So-
come together. They were sucked into the vortex rather than like scattered
Cast out
from
by
it.
it.
So if something happened, you could bring people together, right? The whole war is peace kind of thing. You got someone else to deal with, brings the people closer together.
Worrying
Mr. Orwell.
because that's your rationale. Like it's almost like it's gonna take an act of this magnitude to actually make Americans like shut the fuck up and be Americans again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it validates the reason to go to war
Again, forever,
again.
Yep.
always,
Yeah.
still.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And instead of being the proxy, now we're the initiator and just,
Yeah.
scorch the earth over there.
it's a slippery slope
Mhm.
we're walking down right now. So we need to be mindful of the things that we're doing at home.
Yep.
And make sure we're as prepared as we can be. Not everybody's got a budget. Not everybody has a plan. Not everybody has a place to go. Some folks are just finding out what a bug out bag is today. Maybe you don't even know what a bug out bag is yet.
Right.
I'm not gonna tell you. You gotta go back.
You can go back.
But it's folks, they're at so many different levels, and just keep reaching out to people, man. Keep trying to
Yes.
break through to folks, man.
And a tip to everyone, you're going to fail. You're going to do something and be like, yes, my truck bag is excellent. And then you're going to hike with it about 2 blocks and go, this sucks. This
Yeah.
is
Yep.
awful. It's poking a hole in my kidney. Nope, nope, nope. And now you're going to pull the contents out. And now you're on a search for a bag.
Yep.
You're going to be in an iterative process. It's like
Mhm.
trial and error. You're going to try things. And a lot of us have reviewed different products, and some are good and some are garbage.
Yes.
And we've reviewed both. I mean, all of us have, where we're like,
Absolutely.
yeah, this thing, yeah, don't buy. Here's the link. Don't click it. Don't. No.
Definitely.
Avoid
ban that
this
link.
at all cost.
And if you buy this, it's your problem.
I
Get
warned
paid
you.
regardless. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. You have been warned. It will fail.
It's this is why we put ourselves out here, so that folks can learn from our mistakes, and as well as from our triumphs, because we found some products that are amazing. I know we all have different products that we rave about, and not all the same, which is the best part.
Right.
Because different strokes for different folks, you know what I mean? Everybody's situation's a little bit different.
It's a big, huge thing in the prepping community is that like just because like equivalencies is the key here. Like Like I see Trent with his Opus in the background, but maybe you got a Jackery, or maybe you got this, and maybe you got. They're all like doing the same thing. You're just like your Ford and Chevy people is all.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
you both
Still a
drive
pickup
cars.
truck. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
But that it's very personal. It boils down to budget, attitude, lifestyle, how you intend to do the thing. A lot goes into it. A lot of thinking. 90% of this prep and shit is thought process, thinking it, figuring it out. How am I going to do this? Commit, do it. That's how you're living now.
Yeah.
Fail, do it again.
Yep.
Fail,
That didn't work.
do it again.
Yeah,
And
that
fail,
didn't work. Not doing
Talk
that
to
again.
somebody. Yeah, do it again.
Yeah.
And if you're not sure, one of us has probably done a video on it, or some of the creators in the chat have done one. Just search for it and watch their review and go, no, I mean, it's cool, but that's not going to fix my situation.
Right.
And that's not what you need. You got to keep looking.
I know that the gentleman here, if you ask any of us and we don't have a real answer for you, I'm going to tell you I don't know and try to point you towards somebody who would know the answer to that question better than I would, because I'm just not educated enough on the topic. I don't know that particular product. I don't have the experience with it. So I'm not going to bullshit you and tell you, oh, yeah, that thing's freaking awesome. And then you get it and it's a real piece of shit.
Yeah.
Not my thing, man. I'm not going to bullshit anybody. So if you come to us, I promise we'll steer you in the best direction that we possibly ever could.
The only products Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival has ever paid attention to that you were allowed to see as a viewer are ones that he uses and swears by.
Oh, yeah.
The rest of them, you weren't.
Yeah,
There
if
was
you
no
saw it in
reason
a
to tell you
video and
about
I
it.
was promoting it, it's because it's awesome. Some random dude, without a doubt, it's the Diddy oil.
Diddy.
But
I just saw that comment. I was like, what the
Speaking-
hell?
Why?
Speaking
Damn it,
of the
dude.
Diddy oil, I'm going to hip y'all to something to give you something to scratch your head and walk away.
Here you
Okay.
go.
Oh, God. Okay. Trent's going to close this out today. What do we got?
Forget about the Diddy oil. You need to figure out what's in the Diddy oil.
It's fentanyl.
And on that note, now that we're all banned from the social media platforms, ladies and gentlemen,
Not
if you
me,
have a
'cause nobody
last minute
cares what I
question, no, they do. They come here for you. They're like, what outrageous shit is he going to say in the middle of the conversation?
Algorithm can't see me.
God.
He's in stealth mode.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you guys want Diddy oil, hit me up in the chat. I got the
His
inside-
links on his page.
Yeah, I got the inside
I'm
link
done.
to that.
But you have to go through the tunnels to get it. It's
Something,
Yeah.
something about dolphin lubricant. I don't know. Look it up.
My God.
that's so bad.
Sorry about
Teresa's
this,
going to
Anna.
have the hiccups if we keep doing this.
Sorry about your channel, Pete.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm going to
Everything you
apologize for
worked
the
for.
Livingston Man right now.
Yardbirds.
Now we got
Yeah, thank-
Diddler on the roof in the chat. Okay.
Yeah, Diddler on the roof. In the middle of a hurricane.
Uh,
I can only
All
do
right.
so much here. Okay, you know, I can only bring so much to the table here.
There you go.
You're
All
gonna
right.
have to stand on your own. All these elite YouTubers, and I'm carrying you. You look back, you seen one set of footprints. It was then that I carried you.
I'm done. I'm so done.
Oh, God, this is terrible.
where's
Okay,
the
so,
kill switch, Pete? Where's the kill
all
switch?
right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're done. So, should I do the video again, or should we just
Yeah,
sign
man,
off?
because that
Sure.
You wanna see the
let's
crazy
go,
video?
man.
Something,
that thing,
anything.
That thing was
Anything.
epic. That was
Ladies and
epic.
gentlemen,
Well
thank you
done.
for joining us. Follow these fine, great guys. And the mods, many of them have their own channels. Check us out. Say hi. Leave poop emojis for Lou. It makes him feel happy.
That's right.
And next week on Mr. Livingston's channel,
That's right.
election night.
Gosh.
Yes.
How cool
That
is
is,
that?
that
You wouldn't
is
wanna
if
be
we
anywhere
all
else in the
don't
world.
die tomorrow on Hudson Valley Prepping and Surviving.
Right.
Odds are
Could be. Could be.
heavily
I got-
that we won't.
we gotta-
We've been consistently wrong about this for 101 times so far.
We got a little trick up our sleeve for tomorrow, and
Uh-oh.
you guys
Check
will
it out.
enjoy.
Hudson Valley
Sharon will
Prepping
come
and
out and do
Survival
this.
at youtube.com. Tomorrow night. We all gonna die.
All
one
right,
day.
folks. With that one, we will see you next week.
Timmy. CCU at South Bay going to Bay Harbor Hospital, 923045.
As a result of the outbreak,
At
the
11:43.
city or entire region may be in danger of
SHP
lethal
on
agents.
station
If conditions at your location make this a possibility, you need to consider staying in place until the threat has subsided or blown over. The following steps will ensure that your home will serve as a biological or chemical safe haven. Select an inner room on an upstairs floor with the least number of windows and doors. Choose a large room with access to a bathroom and a telephone.
65 affirmative, break, medevac 39, advise your 97 times 39.
Hello? Is anyone out there?
All right, gentlemen.
I can't
What a
come out.
riot.
He sucks.
That was good.